Welcome back, the rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Monticello 5 cents, Jefferson nickel, but not just any nickel. We're talking about the ones that sold for thousands of dollars at auction. So let's get started. First up, the 1964 Monticello 5 cents. Jefferson nickel is a remarkable coin in the world of U.S. numismatics. Though it may not be the rarest or most scarce of the series, when it's found in a unique condition such as dirty or blackened, it immediately attracts collectors and offers a fascinating story to tell. The Monticello nickel series was introduced in 1938 as a replacement for the older Buffalo nickel design. The new design, crafted by Felix Schlag, features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse. On the reverse, we see the Monticello, Jefferson's home, in Virginia, a symbol of his legacy. Jefferson himself was a champion of liberty and a founding father of the United States, and his image graced the coin for decades. In 1964, the U.S. Mint continued producing these coins, but a key detail to note is the year's shift in minting processes. The 1960s marked a time of great economic change, as the U.S. was fully engaged in the post-World War II economy, and these coins would circulate widely among the public. As such, the 1964 Jefferson nickels became part of everyday transactions, and by the time collectors started searching for older coins in the 1970s and beyond, many of the 1964 nickels were heavily worn and used. The 1964 Jefferson nickel maintains the classic design introduced in 1938. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left. Jefferson's likeness is accompanied by the inscription, "In God, We Trust" at the top, with Liberty and 1964 beneath. On the reverse, the Monticello building is shown in its entirety, with the words Monticello, a pluribus unum, and 5 cents surrounding it. The mint mark D for Denver is located to the right of Monticello. While this design remained largely unchanged throughout its production, the 1964 version is unique for its particular year's mintage, and finding it in an unusual or altered condition like dirty black color adds significant intrigue. In many cases, the blackened or dirty condition could be a result of environmental exposure, where the coin was left in harsh conditions or treated with certain chemicals. In 1964, the U.S. Mint produced over 1.4 billion Jefferson nickels, which means that this coin is not particularly rare. However, as with many coins, rarity is only one factor in determining value. The condition of the coin, its uniqueness, and any errors or imperfections contribute significantly to its market price. Most 1964 Jefferson nickels in average, circulated condition can be found for around 10 to 50 cents, depending on the quality. However, when a coin is in a unique state like the dirty black-colored condition, its value skyrockets in the collector's market. This particular condition is highly unusual, and collectors often seek coins with such distinctive patinas or characteristics to add to their collections. In the current auction market, a 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in dirty black condition could fetch between $20,000 or more, depending on its exact appearance. This range can vary significantly based on the extent of the black coloration, the coin's overall wear, and the auction venue. Collectors are often drawn to such coins for their rarity and the story they tell. There are no significant minting errors associated with the 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark. But that doesn't mean this coin doesn't have a story. The dirty black color condition itself might be considered an error, or at least a unique feature in the coin's preservation. Many collectors are particularly attracted to coins that have survived with such distinctive markings or conditions, as they often symbolize the coin's journey through history. Coins with this kind of toning or discoloration can often bring a premium at auctions, as they are seen as rare and different. In fact, some collectors actively seek out coins that have developed unique patinas, as they represent a coin that has undergone an extraordinary experience, perhaps from being exposed to certain elements or chemicals over time. Moving on to the 1966 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel, this coin shares many of the same design characteristics as the 1964 version, but with some key differences that set it apart in the world of rare coin collecting. By 1966, the United States was experiencing a period of immense change. The economy was flourishing, and new political challenges were arising domestically and internationally. The mint continued to produce large quantities of coins to meet the demands of this growing economy. The 1966 Jefferson nickel was part of this effort and circulated widely among the population. However, what makes this particular coin interesting is the introduction of the large date variety. In the mid-1960s, the mint began experimenting with different ways to punch the date onto coins, resulting in subtle variations in the appearance of the date itself. The 1966 large date is one of the more notable examples of this phenomenon. Just like the 1964, the 1966 Jefferson nickel features the same iconic design of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the Monticello building on the reverse. The 1966 large date version stands out because the numbers 1 and 9 in the date are noticeably larger than the numbers 6 and 6. This variety is an important detail for collectors, and while the differences may seem subtle at first glance, they are crucial for anyone looking to add a complete set of Jefferson nickels to their collection. This particular coin also lacks a mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. A lack of a mint mark is not an error per se, but it can add to the rarity of the coin, as collectors often seek coins from different mints to complete a set. When found in dirty or blackened condition, the coin becomes even more intriguing. These nickels were not originally designed to retain their shiny luster for decades, so environmental conditions and improper storage could lead to the black, tarnished appearance that we see in these coins. Despite this, these coins retain their collectible value due to their unique aesthetic and their connection to a particular period in U.S. history. In 1966, over 700 million Jefferson nickels were produced. Despite this large mintage, the 1966 large date variety is still considered desirable to collectors, especially in higher grades. Coins in average condition can be found for between 10 to 50 cents, but like the 1964 nickel, the dirty blackened condition brings the 1966 version into a completely different market. On average, a 1966 Jefferson nickel in blackened or dirty condition could be valued between $27,000 at auction, depending on the severity of the tarnish and the overall wear. Some collectors may be willing to pay even more for such a coin, particularly if it is a standout piece in terms of its appearance. As mentioned earlier, the 1966 large date variety is one of the key distinguishing features of this coin. While there are no major mint errors associated with this nickel, the dirty black color condition itself is a point of interest. Some collectors may regard this condition as a type of error, or at least as an unusual variation in the coin's lifespan. Much like the 1964, these blackened or tarnished nickels are often valued higher because they are perceived as unique. The market for coins with distinctive toning or color is growing, and many collectors actively pursue them as part of their collections. The history behind each coin, the conditions they've endured, and the stories they carry make them all the more valuable in the eyes of collectors. Next up, the 1942 Jefferson nickel is one of the most notable coins in American numismatic history. Minted during World War II, it's part of a larger series that marked the beginning of several key changes in U.S. coinage. In particular, the 1942 issue is famous for the sudden inclusion of silver in the coin's composition, a change prompted by wartime nickel shortages. The 1942 large date with an S mint mark represents a highly significant and rare variety of this coin. The coin itself bears the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. This coin was minted in large quantities, but the combination of the large date and the S mint mark makes it a rare collector's item. The historical backdrop is equally important because it aligns with a time when the United States was engaged in a global conflict, which makes these coins both a reflection of American history and the war economy. The Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel has a distinctive design that collectors know well. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, surrounded by the words "Liberty" and the year of minting. On the reverse is an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, along with the words "A pluribus unum, Monticello, and 5 cents." The coin's design has remained relatively consistent since its inception in 1938. However, there are notable variations, especially in the 1942 issue, which is recognized for a large date, a feature that can sometimes make it challenging to differentiate from the standard 1942 Jefferson nickel. This specific variety, however, is also marked by the inclusion of the S Mint mark, which denotes that it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. In this specific case, the S Mint mark is larger than usual, further adding to its rarity. The total mintage of the 1942 Jefferson nickel was significant, yet the number of coins with the large date and the S Mint mark in color-changed condition is incredibly limited. The exact mintage for the 1942 Jefferson nickel with this specific variety is thought to be far fewer than most other issues from the same year, making it an extremely valuable coin in the modern auction market. Its value has steadily risen over the years, with well-preserved examples fetching top prices. In today's auction market, the Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel 1942, large date with S Mint mark in color, changed condition can command prices ranging from $10,000 to $50,000 depending on the condition of the coin. Color-changing coins often show signs of aging and unique tonal shifts that make them especially desirable to collectors looking for distinctive and one-of-a-kind examples of rare minting flaws. Some of the more extreme examples of color changes, where the metal appears tarnished or altered in hue, are among the most prized. For coins in excellent condition, uncirculated or near mint state, prices can exceed $11,000 at auction, with some examples having gone for even higher amounts. If you're looking at an example that's been graded MS-65 or higher, you may be looking at a coin worth significantly more, especially if it's been professionally certified and graded by reputable organizations like the NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, Professional Coin Grading Service. The error in this specific coin type is the color change that occurred over time, caused by oxidation, exposure to various environmental factors, or mishandling. Color-changing coins are often seen as having a particular charm, with each coin displaying a unique coloration. Collectors are interested in the 1942 Jefferson nickel for several reasons: its historical significance during World War II, its unique design elements, and the fact that it marks a change in American coinage. The presence of a minting error or alteration due to environmental factors can also increase a coin's allure. These coins offer a visual display of how elements like oxygen, moisture, and time can transform a coin into something rare and unique. Next up, the Buffalo nickel, first issued in 1913, was designed by James Earl Fraser and features a portrait of an American bison on the reverse and the profile of a Native American on the obverse. The 1936 edition of the Buffalo nickel is particularly notable for its portrayal of the bison and the lack of a mint mark, which denotes that it was struck in Philadelphia, the main U.S. mint during the time. The Buffalo nickel was minted from 1913 to 1938, and the 1936 issue is one of the later coins of this iconic series. While the mintage of the Buffalo nickel had been high throughout the earlier years of production, by 1936, production was slowing down as the U.S. Mint was shifting focus to other designs and coinage, particularly due to the looming financial strain of the Great Depression. The design of the Buffalo nickel is one of the most recognizable in U.S. numismatic history. On the obverse, the coin features a Native American chief's profile, which is believed to be a composite of 3 different Native American chiefs. On the reverse is an image of a buffalo, likely an American bison, which is both a symbol of the American frontier and the American wild. The 1936 version of this coin did not carry a mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The lack of a mint mark makes this coin unique, as many coins from the 1930s carried mint marks denoting their mint of origin. The coin's design is also notable for its distinct proportions. The bison is shown in profile, while the portrait of the Native American chief is shown in a right-facing view. Both designs are celebrated for their simplicity and grace, and their historical significance continues to draw the attention of collectors. The 1936 Buffalo nickel was produced in significant numbers, but many were circulated widely and worn down over time, leaving only a limited number of high-quality examples. The mintage of the 1936 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark is approximately 45 million coins, but this number is tempered by the fact that many of them are now damaged or have aged poorly. In terms of market value, the 1936 Buffalo nickel in fine condition is often valued in the range of $10 to $50 depending on the quality of the coin, but the value can rise sharply with higher grades. Coins in fine condition, with minimal wear, tend to sell for more, while coins in less than ideal condition can sell for lower prices. Higher graded coins, especially those in uncirculated or mint state condition, can go for much higher prices, reaching the thousands of dollars. When found in gem mint state or uncirculated condition, a 1936 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark can reach anywhere from $300,000 depending on the coin's preservation and collector demand. Higher quality coins in mint state 65 or better grades are the most coveted by collectors and command the highest premiums. The 1936 Buffalo nickel doesn't have many known errors, though collectors often seek out coins with unusual wear patterns or any unique traits that distinguish them from the standard production. There is particular interest in coins that show distinctive toning or other features that set them apart. Collectively, the 1936 Buffalo nickel is an important coin because it marks the end of a significant era in U.S. coinage. The series is widely admired for its artistic merit and historical significance, which drives a lot of collector interest. The coin's design, the rich symbolism of the bison, and the Native American figure all reflect the American ideals of strength, resilience, and independence, making this coin a timeless piece of American history. Next up, the 1970 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938 and has become one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. The coin features Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and Monticello, his home in Virginia, on the reverse. However, the 1970 Jefferson nickel is particularly significant because of its rare characteristics that make it so valuable today. In the 1970s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between different designs and coinage materials, and the 1970 Jefferson nickel is part of a broader shift in U.S. coinage. The 1970 large date variety of the Jefferson nickel was minted in relatively large numbers, but one of the things that make this coin especially sought after is its rusty condition. Coins in rusty or toned conditions often attract more attention from collectors due to their unique appearance and historical significance. The mintage of the 1970 Jefferson nickel was over 1 billion coins, making it a common coin in circulation. However, a rusty condition can significantly affect the value, making this particular coin a unique find for collectors. Rust or discoloration can occur due to environmental factors, and finding one in decent condition with significant toning can make it highly desirable. Coins in rusty or toned conditions are not generally considered to be in mint state, which can lower their value in the eyes of traditional collectors. However, collectors of toned or historical coins often pay a premium for pieces that exhibit natural aging, oxidation, and weathering. A 1970 Jefferson nickel in rusty condition could fetch a surprising price at auction, depending on how the rust affects the coin's design features and overall visual appeal. At auction, well-preserved examples of this coin with the rusty condition could fetch values between $15,000. This is a higher price point compared to most other common Jefferson nickels from the 1970s, as the specific state of the coin adds a layer of interest for advanced collectors. The 1970 Jefferson nickel follows the design established in 1938, featuring Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, which was designed by Felix Schlag. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, also designed by Felix Schlag. The large date variety is identifiable by its slightly larger digits compared to earlier years, giving it a distinctive appearance. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the two primary minting locations for U.S. coins. The other mint is located in Philadelphia. Despite its large mintage, the rusty or toned examples of the 1970 Jefferson nickel present a rare opportunity for collectors who appreciate the historical nuances of these coins. Toning can alter the appearance, giving the coin a unique patina, often with hues of brown, green, or even blue, making it stand out among more common examples. One of the factors that significantly drives up the value of coins like this is their rarity, especially in specific conditions. Coins that exhibit errors, misprints, or unusual features, such as the rusty or heavily toned condition, attract significant interest from numismatists. This coin, despite its widespread mintage, is valuable due to the toning and rust that gives it a distinctive look and is considered an unusual finding. Collectors often seek out coins in rare conditions that cannot be replicated, as these types of pieces hold a special appeal in the market. The 1970 Jefferson nickel in rusty condition has garnered significant attention at auctions, with collectors seeking to add this unique coin to their collections. Next up, the 1942 Jefferson nickel is part of a significant era in U.S. coinage, set against the backdrop of World War II. During this time, the U.S. Mint was working hard to produce enough coins for a nation at war. The Jefferson nickel in 1942 holds historical importance because of the decision to introduce a wartime nickel that included a higher percentage of silver. This was done to conserve copper and nickel, which were being diverted to the war effort. The 1942 large-date Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, but over time, it has become a rare find in fine condition. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, and the coin's design is deeply rooted in the classical aesthetic of American numismatics. The 1942 large-date Jefferson nickel was minted in significant quantities, but it is the fine condition examples that are of particular interest to collectors today. This coin's value fluctuates depending on the overall condition of the coin, with higher values attached to those in better grades. In fine condition, this coin is valued between $75,000 at auction, depending on its specific features, toning, and any slight imperfections. For example, a well-preserved coin with minimal wear might fetch closer to the higher end of this price range, while those with more visible signs of age may fall toward the lower end. However, the rarity of coins in fine condition, combined with the historical context, gives this coin a significant value boost. The 1942 Jefferson nickel follows the traditional design that has been consistent for many years. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the third President of the United States. This image is rendered in fine detail and is the work of Felix Schlag. On the reverse, you'll find a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, also designed by Felix Schlag. The large date variety is easily distinguishable, as the digits in the year 1942 are noticeably larger than those seen in earlier coins. The D mint mark confirms that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and it's a key feature for collectors when identifying the coin's origin. The 1942 Jefferson nickel is particularly interesting to collectors due to its wartime significance, as it marks a time when the U.S. Mint had to adjust coinage to support the war effort. The large date variety, in particular, is a point of interest for collectors, as these coins are relatively rare compared to other Jefferson nickels from the same year. Additionally, the D mint mark further boosts its collectability, as some collectors specifically focus on coins from the Denver Mint. The fine condition example has a special allure because it represents a well-preserved piece of American history, and collectors appreciate finding these pieces in such quality. The combination of its wartime background, its unique design, and its collector interest makes this coin one of the most valuable among the Jefferson nickels in today's market. Have you ever found a valuable Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting.